Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, once again, welcome to today's edition on Technical Sundays. So today we'll be teaching you about technical trading and how it should be approached by a beginner trader. Now, go straight into the app. Then, how are we going to participate in the financial markets as a retail trader or as a beginner trader? Now, remember the essence of this channel is to help to support struggling traders so as they will know how to trade and learn as well, just the way you begin. Now, one thing you need to know about price action, wherever you hear the word price action simply means the direction which the market moves at the different prices. Price action is just the direction of the market in different price region or different ranges. Now, sometimes you see that, like in this point now, you can see that the market is moving from here, it's moving down here. Now, this is the price moving from here, moving down to this point. This is the price moving from here, moving down to this point. So these are all what price action. The price is making an action of pushing down, consolidate, push down, consolidate, push up, consolidate, then do a dunk like this. These movements you see here are what is being referred to as price action. So wherever you hear price action outside, know that it's not something difficult or something strange. It's just the mentioning of, simply it refers to what the market is actually doing at a particular state. So I can say what was the price action for the yesterday, for the day before, for yesterday. I could just quickly go to the time frame for yesterday, assuming this was today's market activities, and I would say yesterday's price action was that the market moved from here down here, but no one is going to ask what's price action. So quickly go into what do we understand by price action. So price actions are like the patterns we watch out for in the market to order for us to know when or where the market is going to. Now, if you go online, you see a lot of price action patterns. You see an example of it is M's and W. You see head and shoulder. These are types of price action. Price actions. You see head and shoulder. You see double top, double bottom. You see head and shoulder. You see double top, double bottom. So what I'm showing you is an example of a price pattern. Something like this is called head and shoulder. So this is called head and shoulder. This first point is called head and shoulder. This first point is the shoulder. Here is the head, and here is the left shoulder. So right shoulder, head, and left shoulder. So this is an example of a price pattern. On that price pattern, you can also have is double top. Double top is just something like this. You see something here. Sometimes it looks like M, sometimes it just drops, but it's not M. So this is also a double top. Now, why is this a double top? It's because of these two points here. That's why it's being called double top. So this is double top. This is the first top. This is the second top. First top, second top. So that is how you go. If you go online, you see a lot of them. You see double top, double bottom, triple top, triple bottom, rising wedge, bullish wedge, bearish, bullish wedge, and so on. So there are a lot of price action pattern. So you can just go ahead and start looking for them. But the essence of this video is to let you know how this can be applied in a chart. Let's say, for instance, you are doing back testing and you want to know these things I've read about, this head and shoulder, this double top, this triple bottom. How do I apply it in my trading? Or how do I get to know about it? So the best way is just to back test. So you go down to your back test and start looking for these patterns, these things you've seen. How do I see them in the market? You can decide to use H4, you can decide to use H1. So what you just quickly scroll down, just keep going back and be looking for it whenever you come across it. Now remember, we're not trading, we're only doing what? Simply looking for price patterns we've not seen before in the market. Now the first one we're looking for is the double top or the head and shoulder. Now there is double top, double bottom, head and shoulder, triple top, triple bottom. So but for the sake of this video, we are going to be checking out only these two, head and shoulder and double top. So we'll look for them now. How do we see head and shoulder or double top? Now this is an example of a double top. So quickly come out. Since you've identified one, you draw your pattern. This is the first top. This is the second top. Then this is the third top. This is the second top. So from here, we've already seen how this work. So as a beginner trader, how do I analyze this, or how do I take advantage of this information I just learned? Now when you are doing double tops, just for you to know when to enter, and also know that in double tops there is usually where they call the neckline. This is the place whereby the market just do a retest, then before it breaks. It's usually previous support around that region, like the way you see this now. You see it broke down from this place, which is the first leg. So immediately you identify that this is the first top and this is the second top. The next thing for you to do is to make sure to see if the market is going to react to this support at this region. Let me identify it for you. Let me highlight it. So the next thing you do is for you to watch if this market is going to react to this region, which is the double top. So if the market doesn't react to this, if the market fails to drop at this point, which is this other top, it's no longer a valid top. So you no longer take a trade on this region. But if you see that it's making a bullish candle and two bearish candle, at least you can confirm that this is a strong support. This is a strong resistance. So it's confirmed that is a double top. So this is how you trade the double top. So immediately get down this. For someone like me, I would like to enter at this point. Immediately I say this and put my stop loss above here, or I wait for this zone. Whenever it comes and does this retest around this region, if I notice that there's a struggling support around this region, then I can place my trade here, then put my stop loss above this region. Whether you put your stop loss above this region or you put your stop loss above this region, you are still correct. So you take your trade and you make sure you put your TP at the next resistance, which is here. And the reason why we're using this as our TP is because when markets broke out from this zone, when markets go to this point, it moved directly here. So whenever it gets to this point now, I'm going to take my trade off, especially if I'm selling. So for my TPs, I can just put my take profit here. Even if it goes beyond, I know I'm okay with this. So that is how to trade an M. So the next thing we're looking for now is a head and shoulder. But I'll just highlight another M for you. Since we see any other one, we'll just show you. Or a double bottom. Now this is also a double bottom. You can see it here. This is a double bottom. Okay, I won't consider this as a double bottom because it's too wide. I mean, the neckline is not supposed to be this long, so I won't take this setup. The neckline of this double bottom is not supposed to be this long. But if you take this trade, maybe you enter at this point here, or you enter at this point, you see it's not a valid setup, so I won't recognize this as my double bottom. So let's look for something that looks more like double bottom. Okay, look at it. Now you can call this a double bottom, or you can either call this a double bottom or you call this a double bottom. Remember, what you are looking out for is to see that the wick beyond around this region does not break below it. So let's keep watching if we're going to see a head and shoulder or a double bottom, or a double top or a double bottom. So we're looking for head and shoulder. Now this is how to backtest. Now I've finally seen one head and shoulder. So this is how you keep looking for it until you get to see them. Whenever you see a price action pattern anywhere online, maybe on YouTube channel or any material you lay your hands on trading, then you read about them. This is how you identify head and shoulder, and these are identify head and shoulder and double top, double bottom. So this is it. You call these 2 points your shoulder, your left shoulder, your right shoulder. Your right shoulder, your left shoulder. Then the point at the top is the head. So this is head and shoulder for you. Then from here, you place your entries. If you can't place your entries at that top there, you look for the neckline here, which is either this point, or some people prefer this as their neckline, or I prefer this as their neckline, which is the previous support. Some people prefer this point as their place of entry, mode of entry, or they prefer here as their mode of entry, which is this point that breaks out, becomes a new support. If you go into a smaller time frame, you'll see that there is a new support here. This support broke and became a new resistance here. So some people either place a trade here or place a trade here, but either way, you make sure that your left shoulder is not bigger than your head, it's not higher than your head. If this place appears to be longer than this, it's no longer a head or a shoulder. So these patterns usually repeats on the market every time, so just for you to look for a suitable one and trade with it. So you place your trade here. Then remember, whenever you're placing your trade, you look for the next support, which was this place before the market started reversing. So whenever you place your trade here, you take your profits here. You place your trade here, you put your stop loss above this region, or you put your stop loss above this region. So that is how to look for support and resistance. So, but let me just show you another head or another double top, then we'll be done with this video. So you keep back testing and you see, gotcha. Now we've seen another head, another double top. I'm not going to be marking it too much because you already understand what double top is by now. So this is also a double top. So from here, you already know where your entries can be. And remember, if it's higher than the other previous resistance, or there are no wicks around the region, if it's higher than this previous top, it's no longer valid to be a double top. And you can see this is a confirmation candle. On the next video, we'll be teaching you guys more content. Make sure you subscribe to this video so that you can get more content whenever it comes up. Now you can also use here as your entry and put your stop loss above this region, or use here as your entry and put your stop loss above this region. And make sure when you're taking your profit, you go to the next, you look to your left, and look for the next place it breaks out. You can either use here as your TP, or you use this point as your TP, or you use here or here as your TP, but I prefer this point. So you can see the market usually reacts to these regions, and whenever you see these patterns, this is how they should be traded. So this is how to analyze or backtest a double top or head and shoulder. I just give you an illustration, so you can go back to the video and start watching them slow and steady. Then also make sure you learn them on your charts, open your chart and start looking at them for further informations. So with this, we've come to the end of today's section.